Hello ladies, it's Tanner. Welcome back to my channel if you're new here. I'm a 25-year-old non-traditional college student who is kind of basically out of college right now. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I do interior design videos on a budget because honey, I'm on a budget. Cleaning videos and just like decor related videos, I guess, organization kind of. I thought since I am an interior channel, a big part of interiors are decor and plants, especially right now. I feel like plants have really blown up. Plants are a huge staple when it comes to like decor. A lot of people love plants. I used to, years ago think that plants were for old people. Well, I've been collecting plants for the past probably like 5-6 years now, and I'm still obsessed. Plants are a staple when it comes to styling a home, an apartment, an office, whatever it might be. It adds a pop of color, it brings life into a room. But sometimes, honestly, a lot of things that you see on the internet are fake, and people will place plants in certain spots for the time being of that photo shoot that they're doing or X, Y, and Z. It just really depends. I'm just gonna give you some tips and tricks, I guess, and show you the plants that I have, show you the plants that work for me, the ones that aren't working for me. And yeah, so basically, yeah, that's it. Everything you see on the internet is fake, and so I'm just gonna show you what real life looks like with plants. Like, there is my bird of paradise that is suffering. I will go around and show you guys my plants, and I'm gonna be watering them today and adding some new fresh soil on top just to give them some more nutrients. It is growing season now, so I am going to be fertilizing them. I have a liquid fertilizer. I'll show you guys which one I use. I will tell you guys about the plants that thrive in my space, but they might not thrive in yours. I'll show you ones that are suffering in my space that could thrive in yours. But anyway, if you're new here, subscribe, give this video a like, and comment something down below. Do you like plants? And what's your favorite plant? So I'll show you guys my snake plant over here, and yeah, so there you go. This is a snake plant. I'm just gonna fill it full of soil really quick. It is one of the easiest plants to keep alive in my opinion. They're not high maintenance. You don't need a ton of sun. If you have a spot in your house that doesn't get a lot of sun and you've tried a lot of different plants there, throw one of these in there and it probably will thrive. Okay, so here is my snake plant that I just showed you guys. I just put some fresh soil on top. Okay, so it's kind of hard to see, but like, see like this little new growth here? Or that one right there. I didn't put too much soil because I didn't want to like kill them, because I've done that before where I've basically covered them in soil and it killed it off. So anyway, there's my snake plant. It's beautiful. I love it. It came off of a like 25-year-old snake plant, and then I've had it for probably like 5 years now, and it's thriving. It used to only be like this tall. It's doing pretty well. I do want to clip some of these off and start them in a new pot, but also like cutting plants freaks me out. So anyway, I'm just gonna show you guys all my plants and putting some new soil on top, and then I will water them. So okay, so this is what I use for the plant food. This is the Schultz liquid plant food. They have different kinds, but this is for, I think all the plants that I have. It was on the box, but this works for all the plants that I have. And you just need 7 drops per quart of water. I think this is 2 quarts of water, this watering can here. I don't really know. And I just use this for all of my plants, so. Okay, all right, I'm gonna get water. Okay, so basically I'm just gonna take my water and I'm just gonna water it. I don't water this like a ton. I like to wait for it to dry out. It's basically watering a plant. You want to stick your finger in there, make sure it's dry to the touch basically when you stick your finger in, and then if it's still kind of wet, let it dry out a little more. Next plant. Okay, so this is another snake plant. It's a different type. I did buy this from IKEA, but I gave it to Caleb and I let him take care of this plant because, as you will see, there are some plants that I have killed. So I don't even touch this. Obviously I'm touching it, but I'm not gonna water this one, but it's cute. It's a nice little snake plant. So moving on to my bird of paradise. So a background story. I got this bird of paradise from IKEA. It's like $20, and the apartment that I was living in had north and south facing windows, and this house I moved into is east and west, so I don't get the greatest amount of sunlight. Like, especially we have trees that surround our house, and so Once those have the leaves on them, it's pretty dark in here, and this is a tropical plant and it needs all the sunlight it can get. Basically, it's suffering right now. There is a plant bulb in here for it. I keep it on 24/7. I think it's starting to burn the leaves, but the leaves are curling. Some of them have turned yellow. That one is browning. It's just really hard because I can't put it any closer to the window. There is a window up here, but it gets like no sun because there is a house right next to us. I'll just show you a close-up. Like I said, this leaf is browning and it's starting to yellow, unfortunately. These newer leaves are starting to yellow as well, and they're curling up, and I don't know what to do. This house isn't really made for plants that need a ton of sun. Like, this leaf never used to be curled up. Same with this one and same with this one. And they're curling, and I'm just gonna see if giving it some fresh soil will help it. But anywho, it used to thrive in my apartment, but now here we are. Like I said, this plant fits perfectly in this corner, but it's just, honestly, just because it looks cute doesn't mean that it's doing well. I just don't really have any other place to put it with the setup of our living room, and this is where I like it the most, but it is suffering. It's not doing great. I'd rather have my plants doing great than place in a cute little spot for Instagram pictures. I don't know what to do. It makes me sad looking at it. Yeah, it's a bird of paradise. They're really good if you have a bright room, a really bright room. It might thrive. It thrived in my living room, that's all I'll have to say. But let's put some dirt on it and give it some water. I'm gonna pull it out from the wall, basically. So I did put some like rocks in this soil because I use them to prop up the plant. So, but I'm gonna take these off. Oh, this soil seems pretty wet. The backside is wet, so maybe I'll just water it a little bit. Also, bird of paradise are supposed to like get ginormous in your house if you have the right lighting. Because when I bought this from IKEA, the lady was like, she's like, be careful. She's like, I bought one of these last year and I had to separate, because there's 3 different plants in one pot to make it look like a tree or something. And she like had to separate hers, and I was like, oh gosh, I'm gonna have to do that. Well, it never happened because I don't think I allowed the pot to be big enough. I still haven't separated these, and I'm not going to, because if I take them out of this pot, they're gonna die because they are not healthy enough. Probably should be using like a tropical mix, but here we are using regular soil. So now I'm gonna put these rocks back on. The whole plan was to get rocks and put them on the top of it, but that never happened. So time to water. I'm just gonna you really wanna make sure you evenly water a bird of paradise because there are 3 plants in here with all different root systems. So I'm not gonna do too much because the soil was kind of damp. Okay, there's the bird of paradise. It's not living in paradise, but nor is it thriving. See how it's yellowing? Ugh, it makes me so sad. Now we can move on to my lovely rubber tree that is officially basically dead. So there's my rubber tree. I will put a picture on the screen of what it used to look like. It's so sad. Low-key, I'm just gonna water this and hope for the best. So, okay. Okay, actually no, I'm not gonna water this. So I just touched the soil and it's super wet, so I'm not even gonna water it. But here's the background story. Got this rubber tree for my birthday in July. Moved it to my apartment for a couple months, and then I moved into this house, and it went from having a really bright room. Occasionally a leaf would fall off of this rubber tree, and it was fine. I'm like, oh, it's just because we moved it and it's just trying to get used to it's whatever. Well, come to find out, we're like, oh, let's repot it, because we were watching some videos. They were like, if you have leaves falling off, you should repot your plant. Well, we did, because it was still in the plastic container from the store where it was purchased from. And yeah, once we did that, all the leaves started falling off drastically. And so this is all that's left. I don't think I have enough sunlight for the rubber tree. It makes me really sad because I really love this tree and it was super expensive, but I didn't buy it. So like, so yeah, that's the tip on that. If you have any tips and tricks, like I mean tips, like I don't even want to purchase another rubber tree until I move out of this house, because I don't want to buy plants for them to die. Another reason why like people will just buy plants because they're pretty. You need to buy plants that are gonna work in your space. I understand like not knowing until you bring a plant into your space, but they have like a ton of apps and like Google everything basically, like will a plant survive in X, Y, and Z sunlight or whatever. And it will tell you, like it told me not to have this, like it looks bright now. It's only because it's the morning time and this is as much sun as we get in this room. Once like the sun gets overhead, it'll be pretty dark in this room. Just do your research. I know there might be pretty plants that you want, but they're just not gonna work for your space. Buy a fake one. If you really want that plant, it's gonna look like crap, but it's just not worth buying a ton of plants and just replacing it. Moving on, next plant. Next, we have this little baby that you cannot see because it's so dark. This is my jade plant. I've had it for many years, probably like, this is one of the longest that I've had. But it's doing really well. It has new growth on it. Look at that little baby growth. I love that. There are little ones in the bottom here that are doing, they're okay. They're okay. But this used to be literally like two inches tall. It was insane. And now like, look how big it is. You can literally neglect it and it will be fine. I'm just gonna add some new soil on top and then give it some water. So I just put more soil onto the jade plant and watered it. The thing is with jade plants, since they are succulents, they don't need a ton of water all the time. They'd honestly probably like it with less water. Just wanted to give it a drink basically, because it did need some water. It did need some water. The next plant is this donkey's tail. It's not doing great, as you can tell. But I'm not gonna water this because donkey's tail like don't want any. They do want moisture, but they'd rather just dry out, and this one's not completely dried out, I don't think. Maybe it is now that I'm touching it. I'll give it a drink. We'll see. Once the summer hits, I'm gonna be putting this outside and it should thrive. Hopefully, this is the second one I purchased because I killed the other one. So let's just give it a drink. I'm not gonna give it any soil, but it looks like it needs repotted. I don't know. I'm not good at donkey tails, so okay. And they also don't like to get wet, but I don't know how else to get it wet. So wow. I'm a master at killing things. Next plant. Next, we have this pothos. It's not my pothos, so I'm not going to be taking care of it or watering it, but it is thriving. It's going all which way, all over our bar cart, all over down the floor. But anyway, that's a pothos, super easy. I've killed one actually, so that's why I don't have one. This is my pothos, so I did lie. I bought this pothos because I want it to trail down and I want it to like hang above our kitchen sink. But anyway, so I bought this for like $5 at the Aldi, and it was already kind of trailing down, so hopefully it starts. I just watered it like 2 days ago, but anyway, so I'm not gonna water it. It's still in its like little plastic pot, so I might repot that later. There's pothos. I think it's a golden pothos because there's yellow in it. But anywho, this is, don't know what this is. It's not my plant. Next, we have this plant. This is not my plant. I don't know what it is. I think it came from IKEA. Pretty sure it's not my plant, so I'm not gonna be taking care of it. Because I don't want to be responsible for killing things, because I do that sometimes, often, I don't know. Next plant, if you were watching my entryway transformation, you would know that this was the star, but like I said, everything on the internet is fake, and so that look that I put together for our entryway wasn't real, because it didn't work for us. We have some decor, livable decor. This is a jade plant. I love the pot that it's in. I was gifted this. It wasn't doing great, but now it has like a bunch of like little baby like new growth on it. So there's even new growth down here. Sorry, it's out of focus, but you can kind of see it. That was like a dead part of the, I just poked myself with the cactus. That was a dead part of the jade plant, and then it started growing. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna put any soil in this, but I am gonna water it for sure. And then here's my cactus. I've had this as long as, whoa. I've had this one as long as I've had my jade plant. My other jade plant, the one, well, over there, it's on the floor. But anyway, I've had this one a long time. It needs to be repotted because a couple years ago, one of my old roommates knocked it over, and she tried to repot it the best she could, and it just didn't. I didn't touch it because I was afraid if I repotted it again, it would die. It used to have a little baby nub on it, but I was being stupid one day in my apartment, and I was flinging a blanket around, and the blanket got a hold of the nub and it ripped it off, and it makes me really sad because it was so cute. It does need to be repotted. I think it is growing because it's lighter up here on top, as you can see. But it's like, it used, if you want to see what it used to look like, it's on my Instagram like 4 or 5 years ago. It used to be like just a little ball, so it's doing pretty well. I'm not gonna repot it because I don't have the right soil for it. I'm not even gonna put any soil on it, and it works really well in this space. I got this planter from like TJ Maxx. I'm gonna water these and then we'll move on. So maybe you guys can watch me water. I'm gonna set you on this vase. Your cacti don't need a lot. I'm not gonna water this because I just watered it the other day. So, but give your jade a little drink. Little drinky drink. Okay, so we're gonna start over here. We have a little nightstand. This is our guest bedroom. This is a green bean plant. I got it from IKEA for a couple dollars. The lady said you would not be able to kill it. And I think she's right because I thought it was dying, but then it has all these little babies coming off of the sides. As you can see, like there's another little baby, and then this one's like falling, but now it's coming back up because it can see the sun. And same with this. I feel like, I don't know, but it's not the cutest looking plant because it's going in all directions. I don't know. I love the plant. The planter that it's in though. So, but anyway, green bean plant. I'm not gonna repot it. I'm just gonna water it. Then over here, I got this for my birthday from my friend Paige, I think last year. And it was like just a bunch of succulents and they all died except for I think it's an aloe plant. This aloe plant's actually thriving, like it's doing really well. You can barely see it because it's so dark, but yeah, this is a succulent as well if you didn't know. So I'm just gonna water it. It's pretty dry. They like to dry out. This is a succulent too. It likes to dry out. But she said you can't kill this plant. I'm like, girl, let me test me because I will try it. And then I just have this bamboo. It's really blown out, but got this from IKEA probably like 4 years ago. So, and it just sits in water. It's really gross actually. It just sits in this nasty glass of water that I should probably clean, but you know, it is what it is. So, oh yes, drink up. Yes, yes. Ooh, see? Perfect. And then I'm just gonna give this guy a little drink and then probably not touch him for a month. This is a Monstera plant, if you didn't know. Came off of another Monstera, my friend Gabe. He had this big Monstera that he got from a grocery store here in our town. It was like thriving, and I was watching a bunch of like propagation videos, and I was like, can I please just cut some off? So I think last February, maybe 2 Februaries ago, maybe, he gave me a clipping, and I believe it was just this leaf, and this one over here. And if you didn't know, Monsteras, like, or the Swiss cheese plant or whatever they call it, they will not start putting holes in their leaves until like the 5th one or something when they're babies. Obviously, I've had 2 new leaves, this one and this one. It's doing great, it's doing great. Actually, I think this was the first one it put out, and then it put this one out, and then we have a new one. Look at that, it's gorgeous. So this was a free plant. Because I took it from, Gabe purchased it and then he let me have a clipping, and then I put it in soil and it grew, and this will be the 3rd leaf that it has, and I just noticed it yesterday, and I'm so happy about it because, like, who doesn't love a free plant? And this plant is thriving. I was scared for it, but this room does get the most amount of sunlight. So it's in a pretty little plant, or a little pot. It's doing well, so maybe when I want it to like get really big, I'll put it somewhere else. So let me see, does it need any soil? It might not. Yeah, it doesn't. This does not need any soil. It's pretty full to the brim. Next we have this pothos. Once again, it's not my pothos, but it is trailing honey like all the way down and out and over and up. It's gorgeous, I love it. This is my fiddle leaf fig tree. It could be doing better. I think I'm underwatering it. I'm not going to be adding soil to the top because I just did probably a couple months ago. See the browning on the leaves, on the edges? That means that you're underwatering it. But these leaves are kind of droopy. I've been waiting to water them. It is dry, like the soil is so dry. But hopefully with this water and this nutrients and this fertilization, it'll help bounty. Okay, so let's water it. So I've been told that I was overwatering it and underwatering it. This is probably overwatering it, but I probably won't water it for the next 2 weeks. All right, ladies, well, there you go. Those are my decor plants, I guess. They're just my plants. I use them for decor because they're living and they're cute, and some of them aren't dying as bad as the other ones. If you ladies like this video, please give it a thumbs up and let me know if there are any tips and tricks for these plants, the ones that are dying. Or the ones that aren't dying. Like, let me know if there's anything I can do better. Subscribe, like this video, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and the TikTok if you're feeling frisky. And if you guys want a Hey Ladies shirt, get one, $25, free shipping in the US. DM me on Instagram if you want to buy one. I have smalls, mediums, and extra larges left. Just let me know and we can get one shipped to you. So, alright, thank you ladies so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!